Good afternoon. We have a quorum, and it is 3:02. So we'll start our regular scheduled meeting for Thursday, March 24th. I want to thank everyone for coming out this afternoon, and I would like to have order a roll call, please.
Commissioner Turnbull. Present. Commissioner Ogunchowski. Chairman Henry.
Here.
Vice Chair Parks. Commissioner McFarland.
Present.
Commissioner Van Antwerp. Present. Commissioner Saban.
Present.
Thank you. We'll have approval of the agenda. I'd like to have a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second. May we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Turnbull.
Yes.
Chairman Henry.
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland.
I abstained, wasn't here.
It was for the
Commissioner
agenda.
Oh, for the agenda. Oh, present.
Commissioner Van Antwerp. Yes. Commissioner Saban.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving right to the agenda this afternoon.
Okay.
Item number 3, is there any public comments on the agenda items only? Hearing none, I would like to have a motion for approval of the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Turnbull.
Yes.
Chairman Henry.
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland.
Abstain.
Commissioner Van Antwerp. Yes. Commissioner Saban.
Yes.
Thank you very much. The next item of business on our agenda for today is new business. We have a resolution 2022-01, approval of the 2022 Housing Authority Champaign County operating budget. Does anybody have an explanation on that?
You know, you have any comments on the budget that you like to? Do you have comments on the budget?
Yeah, they were presented on the previous meeting.
So yeah, the comments that you have were presented on the previous meeting when we presented the budget. If you have any questions for me.
Did any members have any questions about the budget? If there isn't any questions from the commissioner, I'll entertain a motion.
I motion that we approve resolution 2022-01, approval of the 2022 HACC operating budget.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second.
Commissioner Turnbull.
Yes.
Chairman Henry.
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland.
If I looked it over, can I say approve? Yeah. Okay, I'll approve.
Commissioner Van Antwerp.
Yes.
Commissioner Saban.
Yes.
Thank you very much. It's time for our executive director's report and activities report. At this time, I'd like to hear from our illustrious, outstanding CEO, Ms. Elizabeth.
All right, good afternoon. I first want to start by thanking everybody for coming, taking time out to sit through the strategic planning sessions with us. The last 2 that we've had, I think it's been very beneficial, and we've got some goals and objectives set out now. Hopefully we've learned a lot, and we'll be wrapping that up next month. So thank you for your time on that. And then also I wanted to let the board know that we have renewed our intergovernmental agreement with UPTV. So they are back. And so the purpose of this is really for accountability, transparency, and of course marketing. And just to be able to make sure our board meetings are recorded and available to the public. We have been doing them on Facebook Live, but it's been really difficult to hear And so we renewed our IGA with EPTV, so they'll be here for our board meetings this year. Let the board know that. And then next, I'd like to take a moment for employee recognition. It's not Employee of the Month, although we presented it as Employee of the Month. But we wanted to recognize James Zielinski, who is the LSS specialist. And we're calling this recognition Recognition Master Award. And really because James has, as we've gone through the analytics of our Employee of the Month, we find that James nominates somebody every month. And so we just wanted to take a moment to recognize you, James, and thank you for contributing to the positive culture of our agency and recognizing your coworkers and just being a valuable asset to the team. And so you get a special award this month. So we've got a gift card for you, a Recognition Master Award for you, and we have an award that I haven't got engraved yet because I don't have it. So thank you, James. James' supervisor is not here because she's on a much-deserved vacation, but if you'd like to say anything, James.
Oh, sure. Thank you. Well, thank you, Lily, for this award. I really appreciate it. And I would just like to say, for our ongoing efforts in not only our department, but our continuing activities, none of what we do would be possible without working together amongst all our departments with the Housing Authority, but also the continued partnerships we continue to develop in the community with the continued services we continue to develop. It's really amazing what we've been able to come up through COVID and the future of what we're continuing to be able to provide. So it's really awesome. I'm looking forward to continue to develop in our department and continue to work with my fellow staff members in our other departments here at the Housing Authority. So thanks again, Lily, and everyone else for this. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
James has also been working really hard with the emergency housing voucher program to get, he's spending a lot of money getting people the support and services they need. He's always out shopping. So next up, we got a super special gift today because we finally get to have a U-Bill student on site for Student of the Month. So congratulations to Mr. Anthony Miles. Anthony and Ms. Siobhan, would you like to come up and say some words?
Yep, so our March Youth Bill Student of the Month goes to Anthony. And the thing about Anthony is that from day one, well, prior to getting into Youth Bill, we have a mental toughness, which is kind of like a boot camp for program assessment. And the staff and I knew that even back then that he was our #1 pick for the program. And even to this day, he's continued to prove that we made the right choice. So he came in and has, I think you have the most credits in the high school diploma so far. So he's already halfway through high school diploma, and we're only a month and a half into programming, so we expect him to shoot through. He's friendly and sweet and nice and gets along with the staff, and it's just a good role model and example to, the other students in the program. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Would you like to say anything, Anthony?
I was just gonna say thank you guys for acknowledging me and hope you guys have a great day.
Anthony was also featured on the WCIA interview. He did a great job. So he caught that interview. That was interesting. All right, come on back up, Ms. Siobhan. So now we have to present our award. Ms. Siobhan wasn't here last month when we presented the Employee of the Year award, but her Leader of the Year award that the board did select her for, and that's for her outstanding leadership with the Youth Bill program, and just being able to keep things afloat and make sure the program didn't miss a beat. So I appreciate you, Ms. Siobhan. Thank you. And would you like to say some words? Oh, there you go.
It's been a whirlwind, but I'm super excited. I always tell everybody that when I come here, it's flow for me. So I'm doing exactly what I love, and being here doesn't feel like I'm working. So that's from my colleagues down to the students. So it's always a new day. It's always a new adventure. And I'd like to especially thank you, Lily, because coming in from under you, I've learned so much, and it's been enjoyable. And thank you guys very much for the recognition. Appreciate it.
I just like to hold the floor. And I would just like to say that I think we're so fortunate with the staff that we have with the youth building, and I've seen so many positive things from each graduation to the attitudes of the students in the program. I frequently pop my head in when people not even, when they don't even know I'm around, and the enthusiasm that you display to the people that you work closely, that just kind of simulates and transcends to the student in the program, and that's a great reflection of you. I know we've had a couple brief moments where we've talked and shared some things, and we know you live in Rantucket.
I knew you were gonna say that.
You gotta keep things on the right side too, and laugh a lot, but you're doing a tremendous job, and I'm so proud of the things that you're doing, and it really shows. It just every day, and the radiant smile and personality you bring is, we're gifted and lucky.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I
I'd like
appreciate
to say also, you remind me of Sandra Cato. She was an Upper Bound person that ran Upper Bound University, Illinois. And you're one of those people like you lead. You don't follow, but you lead. And that you can tell that you lead. When people come around and they see that you're doing, they know that you are in charge. That's all.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you, everybody.
This is just a reminder, we have this in the board's packet, but we have the annual convention and exhibition coming up for FADA. It's May 19th through the 22nd in San Antonio, Texas. And we're asking for your RSVPs by March 31st, so that's a week from today, if you'd like to attend that conference. So it'll be pretty informative, similar to the last one, but there'll be a little bit more program-focused things, and it'll be a great opportunity to learn, taking a few staff members. So any commissioners who would like to go, please let us know, and we'll register you and book your hotel and everything.
What was that dates again?
March 19th through the 22nd.
May?
Oh, May.
3 days ago.
Yeah, we missed that one, Eric.
That was great.
Yeah, I was testing you.
Tell you what, I stated that.
You like the chips, don't you?
Fabulous.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did, so
Right on the river walk. Oh, yeah.
can't wait. We have a couple legislative updates. I included this in the board report, but just wanted to go over it. So House Bill 2775, which is the source of income protections bill that is being considered by our state legislature right now. It did pass the House, and there's 24 co-sponsors in the Senate. There's 30 needed to pass. So we met with Senator Bennett earlier this month to kind of strategize on how to get those additional co-sponsors. Is looking good, so we're hopeful that we'll be able to get enough senators to get it passed through the House. And so again, this bill protects families who receive like subsidy, or if they have a voucher for being discriminated by landlords. So it's a big deal to get this passed, and it'll really impact our clients and our ability to operate our program if it is passed.
Will you guys be going to Springfield?
What'd you say?
Will you be going to Springfield to talk to senators about it?
I don't have that on my agenda yet, but it's not
That would be
impossible.
a good thing, because a lot of people that want to pass bills, they go to Springfield and they talk to the senators up there.
Okay. Also wanted to notify the board about SB 1980, the public housing access bill that was passed. And this bill is an initiative that creates standards for Illinois public housing authorities to use in the criminal background screening process. So it shortens the look-back period to 6 months from the date of the application. And so right now, I brought this to the attention of the board. Right now, we don't follow this. We have a much more lenient process than this. And so I wanted to make the board aware of the new bill that passed as we're looking, at our future policy changes and, the health of our program. Just something for consideration. So I included that in your packets to read and to consider. And we'll be doing some further study sessions on it later in the year. Tamika, can you do the development updates, please?
Sure.
Okay, I'll start with Sugar Creek since that's the one that's first listed. It's about 50 to 60% complete. That's the one that's located in Robinson, Illinois. They're still anticipating it should be ready before the end of May. They're really trying to get it finished sometime in April, so it'll be great, even if it's just on time before, so we can get lease up going in the summertime versus wintertime. And so for Ladd Senior Living, the project is almost complete. They have all the temporary occupancy permits, so people can actually start leasing up there. So that one is huge. There was just a couple of items still on the punch list that needed to be complete, but nothing that was actually stop people from being able to lease up. And then our William Street Townhomes, that one is in Dwight, and so we are still just trying to get the application going. We're trying to get the application complete as soon as possible, so hopefully that by June 2022, that we'll be able to do some groundbreaking for that one. Exciting thing about William Street Townhomes, that's one that will actually be for family sites versus the senior ones in all the other rural developments. And then after that, we should have, Newton Senior Living is almost complete. It's about 75 to 80% complete. And so they should be finishing up that one. They're trying to get the punch list together so that we can start leasing up there as well. And so after that is the Envision Center. I'm not sure if you all heard the good news. The zoning board, it was scheduled for 3/17 and it passed there, and so the next step is at the city council meeting on April 5th. So we are one step closer to the Envision Center being able to get started, so Youthville can have a permanent home.
That's not it.
And then in Oakwood Trace and Douglas Square, Lily has stated before, we're just trying to get complete ownership, and so we're still working with our attorney and the developers and consultants so that we can do that. And then once we get that complete, we're able to make a lot of the different changes that we need to as far as security wise and things like that. And then Washington Square and Steer Place, I know Lily mentioned yesterday at the meeting that we're trying to see about the financial feasibility of those two places. And so we have a lot of different ideas of what we can do with that one. For Oscar Steer Place, we're really trying to look at if we can sort of do like we did for Haven. And so the Skelton Place, we relocated so we can go ahead and build the Haven, and so then they can have a brand new place. As we know, both of those units are very, very old. And so just to make some of the adjustments that we need to, especially at Oscar Steer, it would be probably in the best interest to kind of look and see if we can knock it down and build back up.
Tamika, I have a question. Where is the Sugar Creek development at?
It's in Robinson.
Robinson.
Yes.
Thank you.
And then that financial feasibility study, we have engaged with Baker Tilly, so they are conducting that for us. At the end of that study, we'll have a better idea of what we are able to do, and hopefully set some plans in place through strategic planning. Nothing that we're trying to do immediately, but just setting plans and budgeting for a relocation or maybe a sale, or I don't know, but looking at doing something or changing those two properties. So we're excited about it because we know that Steer Place and Washington Square have been a huge challenge for the Housing Authority to maintain, to keep the community safe and upgraded. And so we're hoping that we'll be able to have some good results out of the financial feasibility study. And then we had our Housing Choice Voucher waitlist open March 1st through the 8th. We had about 2,300 applicants on that waitlist. And so we do a lottery system, and so the system will randomly select and number applicants from 1 to 1,000, and those people will be placed on the wait list. So that 2,300 is big, that's a lot for our area. And just looking at it, it paints a picture of how many people need affordable housing. And so anything that the Housing Authority can do, or anything that we can continue to do to provide this resource, I think is really critical. So again, we've been working with HUD on trying to increase our available vouchers. We told the board, mid-year last year that we'd be increasing our vouchers, which we did do. We increased by 50. We also got those emergency housing vouchers, and so we'll probably be looking again to increase our vouchers, probably by another 50 in the next coming months. make sure we're utilizing our full authority.
Lily, I have 2 questions.
Yes.
The first is there any way to determine how many of those 2,300 applicants were already residing within Champaign County?
To me,
I don't have the list of the 2,300. That's something we can definitely ask about. Our software company, it goes behind the scenes until they're actually downloaded,
Yes.
and they only download the 1,000. So that would be something we can go back and ask our software company if they should be able to get, and then we can get that information over to you.
I just think it would be relevant for the community to know, and we can utilize it in other ways like that. My second question is, do you guys have a time of when the 1,000 will be notified?
We actually don't notify by mail.
Okay.
So once their name gets to the top of the list, that's when we'll just send out notifications. However, they can contact, it's a wait list number. I don't have the wait list number by heart on me, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
And so they just put their information in, and any wait list that they are on, it will acknowledge, and if it shows up as nothing, they say there's no record of, that means that they were not selected.
Thank you.
So another thing I wanted to ask about that, with that new housing authority open wait list is, you had people before that was already on the wait list, and I think you just explained that, those people that was already on the wait list, they didn't sign up for the new wait list that came up, so will they come up within that 1,000 people that you selected?
The wait list was exhausted, and so we have already contacted every single person on our previous wait list for the Move Into Work program, for the Move Into Work tenant-based voucher.
Before you ran the open house for it?
Correct. We did that already, and so that's the reason why we knew it was critical for us to go ahead and open up our wait list now.
Okay. I'm just confused because I knew a person that was on the wait list and they just heard about it. So I didn't know if they need to be signed up for the new wait list or what.
Well, unfortunately now, unless they got selected with this new one, they probably have maybe missed their opportunity of time. They only have a certain amount of days to actually respond back once we send those application packets back. And we did send them to every single person on the previous wait list.
Okay. Well, I'll talk about that later. We're good.
I'd like to say a couple of things. In the past, I got a lot of calls about the wait list and everything, but that seemed to have been resolved and everything. But as we start the new wait list process, a lot of times people are really misinformed about the wait list, and when they make a phone call to somebody that they think can help them, a lot of times they don't have the right information, and then and if I make a phone call to Ms. Walker and follow up on it, our in-house staff has complied with what they're supposed to be doing, but there's so much misled information out there. And I think we as commissioners, when you get a call or something, just be aware of that, because every complaint that comes to us is some of them can be very disgruntled, or there can be a high person in the community that they perceive as a high person in the community and can come to you and get a direct answer. It doesn't work that way. And I keep a check and balance with Ms. Walton, and she's on top of things too. So I think everybody is doing their job. They're following the correct protocols. So, and we do have to address everything, and we are, but I just think that sometimes things get so far out there and misconstrued, it puts a bad tarnish on some things. So be aware of that, that's all I'm saying.
I think some people just don't get the right information, or the information don't get to them. And I can say that because I know that for a fact. I'm just not saying it. It could be maybe they didn't get the information and they didn't know that, or something like that. Things do happen. That's all I would say about that one.
Well, let me ask you a question. When you get those kind of contacts, do you tell them that?
I don't get those kind of calls.
Oh, you
want me to go deep?
obviously
I'm
somebody
gonna go deep in this conversation right now.
Pardon me?
First of all, I know a family member that was on that wait list And they did not get no information on exhausted what she said. So that's why I said I'm gonna leave that alone. So there ain't no call that I get. I know this for a fact.
Okay, Ms.
So we'll
Linda,
talk about it
there's
later.
somebody that you would like us to specifically.
Yeah, we'll talk
reach out
about it
to
later.
and get that info.
Okay?
All right. So now we have a program that we're really excited about. We're launching it April 1st, and the program is called Residents Rise. So it'll be our resident services program. Of course, through our strategic planning process, some things came up, but there were already some things we were already working on, such as a resident services program that's really comprehensive, and that addresses the needs of our senior residents. We included in the packet a calendar, so we'll be sending out a calendar monthly of resident events to the board as well as to our residents. And so this program is really going to focus on enriching the lives of our senior citizens and building community in those buildings. And so we're looking at bringing in presentations on common aging issues such as healthcare, medication management, budgeting, grief support, fraud awareness, and fall prevention. And then aside from those things, we'll also be doing some fun activities, bringing in, partnering with more social service agencies to come in and do more fun activities. And so we have hired a new resident services coordinator who's going to be Trinisa Johnson. So you guys are pretty familiar with Trinisa. And so she's got her first calendar out. And what you guys may not know about Trinisa is that she moonlights as a fitness instructor. So she'll be doing some chair exercises with the seniors. So for our first month, we've got a trip planned to Paradise Casino with them. We're going to do some beans and coffee and news events. She has chair Tai Chi planned. She has, what else is planned? We've got some Easter events planned for the month of April. And so each month, the board can expect to see a full calendar of events that we have scheduled with our residents. And the purpose of this is really just to get back to connecting with them, connecting with their needs, and also giving them an advocate outside of their property manager that they can go to and that they can talk to about certain issues. If they need social service referrals or just help in general, they'll have a designated person to go to. And so we're really excited to have Trinisa in this role. She's going to bring a lot of fun, energy, and excitement to it. And she's very quirky, so the residents love her. So we know that they'll enjoy this.
Do you have any younger, you said senior citizens, I don't know if senior citizens fit, but if you have any younger, you don't turn them away if they want to join in, do you?
No.
Okay.
It's focused on our 55 and older buildings.
That's not senior citizens.
It's okay, Peter.
They're not senior citizens. But one of the biggest, not complaints, but when I'm going out to the buildings and talking to the residents, they're saying, we don't do enough here. Our buildings are not assisted living, but we could be doing more. And I know in my apartment complex that I lived in, they did a lot of activities with the residents just to build community. And so that's our purpose, just to build community. We've got security in there now, so things are really shifting for the Housing Authority. I went over to Washington Square late last night and just kind of walked the building just to see, how things were going. Got a lot of positive feedback from the residents. They were happy about the security. They told me they felt safe, that they were thankful and grateful about the way things were changing. And, ran into a few stragglers too. But, overall, things are looking up for our senior buildings, and we want to keep it that way. So we're just building on top of, the success that we've had over the last year.
So do you have the security yet?
Yes, ma'am.
So when did they start?
March 1st. March.
So,
3 weeks?
3 weeks.
Yeah, it's been about 3 weeks or so.
3 weeks. Okay, I just found out about it. I didn't know.
Yep, I notified the board at the last meeting.
Last meeting, when did you email us or something?
No, I had it in my presentation, and I think it was on
Okay,
the
you
board
said
report.
It was on the board report. It was on the board report.
I don't recall it.
But I was just mentioning, I was just
I just knew
mentioning.
that you were supposed to be getting security, but I didn't know it had already started. So that's why I'm asking you, did you get it?
Yes, ma'am. We did.
Okay. So from now on with the residents, since I'm a resident commissioner, we just had a retreat and it's very important me being a resident commissioner that I be up on top of things that when you do get security and stuff that I need to be there present with some of that stuff. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. include that one. I know it was your request also that we include that calendar, so
Okay.
I made sure that we added
Yeah.
that to the board packet and,
Mostly everything to do with the residents wants to be included onto it. So maybe, in that board package, you had it in, which was it in your presentation?
it was in the board packet
Okay,
and my presentation.
okay. That's pretty cool.
I just have a quick, I just wanted to say I'm very excited that Trinice is running this. I feed off of her energy, so very excited, and you can expect me to share tight sheets, okay? I will be walking my butt down wherever it goes every week to get some exercise. I'm very excited about it, but no, seriously, this is a great idea.
77 pages,
And,
77
I think that
pages of
Trinice is the right person to
material.
do this, so I'm very excited about this.
You still don't get
I
that.
think so too.
I didn't get it.
All right.
Yeah.
So next
I know why I didn't get it, because I picked up the board packet and that was not in it. They didn't give me all the 77 pages. Whoever printed it out front, that's why I missed that.
Okay.
Okay.
And then Pioneer Street, I know Tamika went over this in the development report, but I just kind of wanted to touch on that again. So the Zoning Board of Appeals did unanimously approve that. Mr. Vince and I went to the meeting, and they had some pretty lengthy discussion on it. And it kind of made us consider the future, you know, and what possibly what things we may need to do with that building in the future. Nothing bad or nothing scary, but just looking at if we ever want to expand, what that might look like. So since it's a major variation, it does have to go through city council. The issue is that there is not, you know, the city ordinance is that, I guess, per square feet or something, you have to have so many parking spots. So what the city was asking us to do was provide 18 or 16 additional parking spots. And that would have put a burden on our ability to afford the renovation and, you know, run the program. And so, you know, since we're a partner with the city on the violence reduction plan, and the city does have significant investment in the success of our program, we weren't granted that variation. The zoning board members did recognize that it would be pretty difficult to add 16 spots to this location. The problem is that there are two buildings that sit right next to it, and they all share a parking space. And so it's a gravel. They wanted us to pave the parking lot and then add additional spaces, but we can't do that because the two buildings on either side of us are not owned by us, and you know, so that's pretty much what the issue was. But we got it through zoning board, so now it just goes to city council. It has the staff support, it has the zoning board support, so I don't anticipate any issues with city council. So we just gotta get through that, and then construction can continue.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes, sir.
I don't want to get too far off track here, but say once you get up and running over there and you want to have a cookout and invite some people, maybe 30, 40 people, where would the logical place be for people to park?
So we do have parking spaces that'll be alongside the building. People can park behind, and then people can also park on the street. There's street parking available.
Okay.
And so another part of the reason why the zoning board granted, one of the questions they asked us was, you know, where is your staff going to park, where are the students going to park? And we let them know that most of our students are transported by the program. So, you know, we don't have almost any students who drive here. And then we've got about 6 staff members. So we've got enough parking for our staff members, as well as the guests and the students that we can accommodate. So we should be in the clear there.
I know during, going back, one of the reasons for that site was because it's right on the bus line. Half a block, the students can get off the bus and walk a half a block to the building.
Mm-hmm. And it's definitely in a safe and secure location. Not that this location isn't safe, but when we're looking at the store that's right here, that has a lot of traffic. The population that we serve is very sensitive. We've had a couple incidents, almost fights, or you know, just violence, or just community interaction. And we've talked to the owners of the store, and we've got an understanding with them, and they know what time we let our students out on break. We've talked to the police. The police gives a little extra control, and so being in this new location, there's no windows. We'll have security. We'll have metal detectors, so we know our students will be a lot safer. Our staff will be a lot safer, and it'll be kind of away from the traffic of everything. So we're really anxious to get the program moved over to this new location. And we've got some RFPs that are out right now. We've got an RFP out for website development, so we're gonna be redeveloping our website. I know I talked about this a little bit yesterday, but the purpose of it is really just to make our website more accessible to the population we serve. We have a very beautiful website, it's really razzly dazzly, but we want something that's functional, something that our population can navigate more easily, and also it's time for an update. So we have an RFP out for that, so we should be wrapping that up pretty soon. I think it ends on April 1st. So, and then we also have an RFP out for a new software system. We're looking to upgrade our software for a multitude of reasons. We know that we need our finance and our operations side to kind of work a little better together, and so having an upgraded software will help us do that. In addition to that, we're really looking to do the recertifications through our software and online rent payments, and just really kind of streamline things that our current software doesn't allow us to do. So we will be looking at converting our software probably by the end of the year. So that RFP is out now, and we'll be reviewing the submissions that we receive, and we're hopeful that a new software will make things work a little easier for our staff and our clients.
You say you got an RFP out for that. Now, do you, whoever gets that bid, do you work with them to develop the kind of software to address the needs and get the information that you want? Or how is that developed?
Yeah, so I mean, it won't be like a ground up software. There are companies out there that provide software for housing authorities, and so of course, since we're MTW, we may have some modifications, but our team, Tamika and Jean and Robin and the rest of our team will work with the software company to ensure that we meet every level.
Just to piggyback off that, that's one of the reasons why it's so important for commissioners and other staff members to go to like a FADA conference or a narrow conference, because you can also get a chance to talk to some of these people that deal directly with these, just like Belly, people that they can really sit down and talk to you and drop your card off, so it doesn't necessarily have to fall on the shoulders of Mr. Nigo or Ms. Walton or any other staff member. I mean, we can all be a part of that and help out, and you'll find it very beneficial too. You have a great feel for certain things in the housing industry in terms of the university and student housing. So we can all kind of pitch in and come back and share our thoughts and minds and come up with the best proposal to address these needs.
And then the final RFP that we have out is for maintenance services. As you all know, hiring has been extremely difficult. We've just about got our maintenance team fully staffed, but we do want to procure a company to assist with certain tasks and things that our maintenance team may not be equipped to handle. So we've got that maintenance RFP out, really focusing on major things and unit turnovers and things that are taking a little bit longer for our staff to complete. So we're looking to bring in a company to assist with that. So those are our three procurement opportunities that are out there. Just want to make sure we notify people about that. And then we've got some good news. We've got our developer fee for the Haven, the third and fourth installments. And so that's about $405,000 that was received total. That second or the fourth installment came following the loan conversion. And so HACC will be entitled to about another $205,000 deferred developer fee that will come from the cash flow of the property over the next several years. So we've got a nice chunk of money that we received. And then that's all I have.
I have one other thing.
So you can skip that.
I have one other thing, it kind of goes along with what came up before this about communication, the flow of information going out and the flow of information coming in. Last month, I think Robin read a letter from Ms. Patsy Petrie about the youth build program, and once again, I don't know how, I know that you talked about it, but could you share with the board how you handle that information with Ms. Patrick Petrie?
Yeah, sure. So the letter just requested that we provide additional data on our website and about the U-Bill program and what happens. It was asking if we track the students, and so we do track our students. And so what we'll be doing is that we'll be publishing some additional information on our website about what students, what happens to our students. Statistics about our students when they're in the program, what happens after the program, all the data that we're able to compile and publish. We'll be publishing it for the public to know. It wasn't, it wasn't a bad request. I can see it's kind of helpful for us to know. We do track it internally, and we take a look and analyze that data, try to figure out how to make the program run smoother and run better. We'll be, taking that into consideration and developing some reports. And so we do have that data in our annual report that'll be out in the next couple of weeks, but we'll also make sure to publish it to our website.
Also, I got a call from Ms. Petrie. She explained to me that up on our website that we wasn't posting different stuff, and I told her to contact you.
Okay. Yep, and then we do have the
in the future, when people call me, I either tell them to contact Mr. Henry or you, because it's not my place to tell them, I'm the commissioner, but Mr. Henry is the chair, and you are the ED.
Yes.
So I forward the people to you guys, to either Mr. Henry or you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep, and then what I'll do for next month, we'll make sure to update those concerns cards. I know at one point we had given them out to the board, so if people call or see you in public and they have questions, that they know what number they can call. That concerns line, the phone line, and the emails, they come directly to me, so I'm able to see and receive that and respond and track it. So
I really don't know, and to say what she's saying is not being posted on the website. That's the part I didn't get into it with her. And maybe she explained to you what she was looking for. I don't know.
It could have been the same thing looking, because that was kind of part of it. She wanted that data posted on the website. U-Bill doesn't have its own website right now, but we're looking at possibly.
Is that something that we have to do, or is that something
No.
we can't?
We have to report it to the Department of Labor, and we do report it in our board reports. But
So
it's
if we don't have to do it, why do you post it then?
I mean, it could be good practice, so people could understand the program and how it works and what makes it successful.
But a lot of times though, if you're doing a good program and people see that you're doing a good program, they will steal your ideas and stuff. I wouldn't give all my important
They can steal the
ideas on the
recipe, but they won't have the same
website.
flavor.
You know what I'm saying? Some of your stuff is, why you're doing good is because it's inside of your organization. Why would you put it out there for other people to build on? I mean, you can give them so much stuff, but I wouldn't give them no detail on this stuff.
They won't be able to do it like that anyway. So it's okay.
It can be a generic posting, just to keep people informed. There's not, we don't get any data with people going on our website, just a few people here and there. And so as long as you got the basic information that's out there, that's all that's required. Everything else can be handled individually. Any other concerns or problems, your constituency forms, can you still do that?
Yes.
They can be addressed individually.
You're giving them the ingredients, but not the recipe.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
There's a lot of copycats out there. They copy off other people's success, and that's what they do. You're doing well, you're doing real good, you're gonna have a lot of haters, you're gonna have a lot of people just coming at you, picking for no reason because there's nothing there to pick at. Because people are jealous.
You took the words out of my mouth, Ms. Commissioner, and so we're moving forward.
There was another thing I did want to let the board know about, and I know this was one of the requests that Dr. Henry had a couple weeks ago, but we did put, and Ms. Siobhan has to come up and give me details, so I forgot to add it, but we did send our youth bill staff to a training over the last 2 days that was on, what was it on?
It was, yesterday. So they did a social-emotional trauma-based training was at the I-Hotel. And so just, dealing with the population that we deal with, right now we're in need of supportive services for like counselors and stuff like that, but it's also equally important that our staff, understand, what our students go through and then have the best resources available so that we can help them. So it was a good training that they were able to attend.
I think that's an idea, and that should be ongoing in your plans too.
Siobhan, I just have a question about youth build. Do you guys partner with anyone in the community for mental health support services for the kiddos?
No, we haven't. We've been on the search. So
Okay.
that's like a number one need of ours right now.
We had a brief partnership with CU Trauma Resilience
Uh-huh.
Initiative where they had counselors coming out on Fridays, but I don't know if they lost funding for it or if they,
Okay.
but it just kind of stopped. So
I just like to put, you know,
For sure.
ideas in people's ears, and I also know that CU Tri is getting some funding from the American Rescue Plan for counselors, so maybe it can start happening again.
I'll just throw it out there, but Kim Sims, my God, the woman is awesome. She would be, you know, you can do your own research, you could bring her into your students and stuff, but she is.
Karen Sims.
Karen Sims.
We had a meeting with her, a couple
Oh,
days
she's
ago.
awesome.
Mhm.
Hallelujah, yeah.
And then we also have another training that we have planned that our youth bill staff, our LSS staff, and our property managers will undergo, and that is mental health first aid. So that'll be a really impactful training for them to be able to recognize and refer. So that's coming up as well. So we're really focusing on a lot of trainings and a lot of
Quickly, just for my information, just for me mostly, I guess, and I do push youth bill a lot, trust me. And I see a lot of young kids, I try and get them involved. But how do you get the students? I just really never understood how you got the students.
So that's great. That's a great question. So we have a very grassroots strategy to get in students through our doors. So of course we've got partnerships with both Unit 4 and 116, and they make a lot of referrals. But most of our referrals, believe it or not, come from young people who have gone through the program, who promote the program on their social medias, or they tell their friends or their cousins about it. And you'd be surprised how many young people are really, really struggling in school, and it's hard for them, or they're not going to make it, and they already know, or they've already dropped out. And so
Right,
when
that's
this
not-
toughness
that's not-
time comes,
what-
we're like inundated with.
So even the kids just finally just drop out, they're still searching, you still will take them in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our goal really is to locate and pull in those dropouts.
Okay.
We have some students who may come to the program or maybe refer to the program from the school, and the school is saying they're not going to make it, so let them try youth build, and if they don't make it, then we'll keep them, but if they do make it, then they'll drop. So it comes from various sources. We get a lot of referrals from community members, a lot of referrals come from like the alternative schools, just for different youth who they're not on the right path, or what they're doing isn't working, whether they're going to Ready or Novak or wherever. So
But
something.
who is the direct contact person?
Direct contact person would be Joby Taylor, who's our
Joby?
outreach
Okay,
coordinator.
I got you. Okay.
And so sometimes, honestly, Joby will just ride the streets, and if he see kids out, he'll like give them he'll give them a flyer and say, come up to youth build.
You do have flyers.
Yes, we have flyers.
Okay.
Yep. We've got a new one for our mental toughness that'll be starting. So they're taking people right now for June.
A good idea would be also,
Information on that.
Okay. So
another
information.
idea would be, do you guys deal with children and family services? Because you do have, I'm not giving people's names because it's privacy. You have had some kids from there, and those kids no foster parent could deal with, and they went over to Chicago, and I saw your program came and got those kids and turned those kids around.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not going to mention any names, but hallelujah, that would be a place that you could find a bunch.
Yeah, we've got a
Hallelujah,
good
because I tell you, I had some
relationship.
kids come through my house and have been through 5 or 6 homes, and we're going to Chicago to this group thing, hallelujah, but I see that you turned some kids around that didn't have to go there to that place, like the group place, and they got their life back on track. So that's a testimony statement, because I know for a fact, because I had some of those kids, hallelujah. So I know what you did and what work you did, and I know what kind of work it was.
Yep.
Hallelujah.
And then we find that,
But there's a limit though, right?
What's
So
that?
it is a limit how many kids you can take.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've got a limit. So we're winding down on the grant right now. So what is it, 6 left that we can serve?
So we have 6 left on this grant, but then we're undertaking the city's commitment this summer.
Yeah.
And then we're starting we apply for our new grant, and we should get funding for that. So pretty soon we'll be back to typically between 20 and 25 kids per cohort.
So the city funding, that's going to allow us to serve an additional 15 young people. And we're going to try to stretch the money and make it a little more if we can. But our goal is to finish that out. So this year we'll probably serve about another 21 students or so, and with another graduation probably in January.
You had mentioned that Urbana might be interested in.
Yeah, they reached out and asked us for some data, so we sent the data. So, through their consideration, I know they're working with I think RDC on how they're going to spend their ARP money. But they did reach out and ask for data on the program, so we're hopeful that they'll consider giving some money for program operations as well. And we're also applying for grants like crazy. I feel like that's all Siobhan does is apply for grants. So we got really busy on that front and just trying to build some income for the program and fundraising.
Well, the big thing of you guys applying for grants and that you guys got an update on most of the people that's in the city, and I spoke to city council about it, you can show results. Some people don't show results. You just get the money, don't show what they did or what progress. Your program shows results. It shows the output. Theirs do not. But they keep getting money and getting money. Your program is the one that needs to get that money.
We
Because you're dealing with the kids' age, you're dealing with the ages at this point with gun violence, hallelujah. The kids that have really serious problems, those are the ages you're dealing with, and I don't see why have they looked you over for those grants. You should be the first one to get those grants. Hallelujah. We got a thing called poverty pimps. Poverty pimps. You know what poverty pimps are? Miss Amy? What are poverty pimps? I want to get that correct what I'm saying here. Pimping the system for money. You're not doing that. You're helping these kids. And that's all I want to say.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and then there's one other grant, I forgot to add this as well, but we are in the process of applying for a grant, and it's Housing for Justice Involved Individuals, and that's through IDA. And so hopefully that's about $475,000, so hopefully we'll be considered for that grant opportunity as well. It's due March 31st, so we'll keep the board up to date on where we are in the process. So we're looking to serve, probably another, 10 or so people through that grant opportunity for individuals who are justice involved. And that is really the end of my report this time.
Thank you.
Very much for that. Well described and defined report, and thanks for all the input and other comments that came out of her report. I think it all added to getting a complete understanding. I think we're all on the same page. Okay. Our next item on the agenda is the approval of the financial reports for February 2022 cash disbursements and detailed check listings. Let's speak to that before we get a motion for approval, please.
Okay. I just want to mention, normally I go through the disbursements done in the previous month. I'm not sure I have page 45, I don't know if that's the exact page, but there's a summary of the disbursements done in all of our entities. $137,000 were disbursed for Housing Authority. Normally I mention what's been significant over $10,000. There's really nothing to mention. In February, there are some checks, like for example, our health insurance, which is around $20,000 every month. So those really don't get mentioned because they are recurring. It's not extraordinary. We did have like a big check to Amarin for over $10,000, but there were several actually paying several bills. So it really wasn't just one thing. Regarding the budget to actual, as of February of 2022, I was taking a look at the results and we're slightly down on the income. We are down on the total expenses as well. Slightly under what was expected on the budget, but I wouldn't be really concerned. As Lily mentioned, we received over $400,000 on developer fees, which are already in the bank. I took them this morning. So if that would have been booked in February, we'd be talking about being, doing better than the budget. So I wouldn't really be concerned. This could have some spikes. The actual results may have some spikes while the budget is usually linear. One thing I would like to mention, although it's not part of it, but as of today, we have received already 4 audit reports. One for Prospect Senior, which is property of Haven. One for Oakfield Place. One for Maple Grove Manor, and one for Oakwood Trace. So these are 4 audit reports that have already been executed by the 2 first ones by Reuben Brown, the other 2 by Maleta and Company, and we got clean, unqualified reports on all 4 of them. So I just wanted to mention that.
Good job, Andrew.
Thank you.
Okay, if anyone doesn't have any questions, I'd like to entertain a motion for approval of the February 2022 cash disbursements and detailed checking listing.
So moved.
I'll second.
And probably moved in second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Turnbull,
Yes.
Chairman Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland,
Yes.
Commissioner Vansworth,
Yes.
Commissioner Salem.
Yes.
Thank you. Are there any, item 9, are there any public comments on the non-agenda items? Hearing none. We will, I think we need to go in closed session.
Correct. And that is for personnel as well as potential litigation.
Okay. So, do we need to adjourn this meeting and then,
No, there's a potential action item following closed session, so we're going to want to come back after the closed session.
okay. So we'll take a 5-minute break.
So we do need so we'll need a motion to go into closed session to discuss personnel and potential litigation.
Second.
Been probably moved in second. Roll call.
Commissioner Turnbull,
Yes.
Chairman Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland,
Yes.
Commissioner Vansworth,
Yes.
Commissioner Salem.
Yes. We can show we are back in open session at 4:42. Show all the commissioners are present, again with the exception of Commissioners Obachowski and Parks. And at this point, is there a motion to approve a salary increase for the executive director in the amount of $171,200, as well as a bonus in the amount of $9,600?
So moved.
Second.
Been probably moved in second. Roll call.
Commissioner Turnbull,
Yes.
Chairman Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland,
Yes.
Commissioner Vansworth,
Yes.
Commissioner Salem.
Yes.
I don't think there's any other business.
Okay. You get to go home then, huh?
My motion adjourned.
She never said she
Adjourned
accepted.
We're adjourned at 4:43 p.m.
Do we need to do roll call?
For the adjournment?
Yeah, okay, I forgot, I'm sorry. I said it, and I was like,
Thank you all.
Thank you for the comments.
Did you accept the stay?